clues about good leadership is looking at perhaps how airlines recruit their pilots, and many airlines these days look for the right command competencies, or those leadership skills, before they even get to be in the airline. So things like pilots that are decisive, people that make good decisions that are often reviewed, not just simply made without any sort of evaluation. Good communication skills, tailoring the message to suit your audience. Good systems knowledge, hungry for that sort of added knowledge as part of your professionalism. And it's also being open to change and being flexible to competing demands, being cool in a crisis, all those sorts of things that we look for in pilots. But the organisation doesn't stop there. Once they've got the pilots, they reinforce those skills. So it's about reinforcing that through your recurrent training, through your checking and training process, through your assessment and monitoring programs, and then looking for those competencies as role model behaviour and reinforcing that through putting that out in your educational material as well. So it just doesn't stop in getting the right pilots, it's reinforcing those throughout the pilot's career, and good organisations have that as part of their system.
The captains need to encourage the input of the first officers and also on occasion explain their decision processes.
I think as a chief pilot you should be fully aware of what your pilots are doing in their non-flying, if you like, duties, so that you can manage the situation appropriately. I think the chief pilot in this situation, where he had his people around for a social drink to welcome the new guy, is a good sort of a method of finding out and just being aware of what your crews are doing outside the normal work scenario.
Main areas to focus. Lead by example. There's no point me telling you to do one thing and then demonstrating something else. It's probably one of the best ways to set someone up to be less disciplined, less professional within our own organisation. You then need to, as a good leader, be able to take someone, point them in a common direction, and even if initially they're resistant to that, use appropriate skills, appropriate resolutions to conflict, motivation, give them the empowerment they need to enjoy the journey. And that's one of the key parts of being a good leader. It's understanding some of those basic facets of human behaviour, it's being able to get the right communication, empowering people, motivating them to take them to a common goal. And sometimes people won't like where you've got to lead them, but at times that's why you're considered a good leader.
In aviation in general, there has to be a culture of safety, and that starts in the Red Bull Air Race from the top down. The way that we design the runways, to the types of engines that they allow us to use, to the types of tracks that they design so there's not too much G-force involved, to the length of the day that the pilots have that we're here on site. We don't want to be too tired, and so they're balancing it all the way around. So one of the things that an organization, whether it be a flight school, an airline, or an air race like this, is that safety has to be critical, and it has to come from the boss, and then it trickles down.